Hi everyone, welcome to my review of Ted 2. Yes, I didn't know this film was going to come out so soon. I know it's been 3 years since the last one, and it's been 1 year since the big disaster that was A Million Ways to Die in the West, which was one of the worst films that I ever saw. I didn't think this film was going to come out so soon, but maybe because of that situation, Seth went right into making Ted 2. He knew that he had a hit on his hands no matter what, because people would show up because they were huge fans of the original, and I liked the original. I thought it was okay. I thought it was an okay film. I laughed. The story kind of got in the way, and I like the concept and the relationship between Ted and Mark Wahlberg more than the actual movie itself, and also Flash Gordon being in there, Sam Jones. That was the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life when it comes to comedy. So that kind of saved the first movie for me, but I was never really excited for a sequel. When the trailers were released a few months ago, it really shocked me because I didn't know this movie was coming out so soon. I wasn't really impressed with where the sequel was going. It just looked like a courtroom drama mixed with, this fighting for his rights, and they're going to hammer this message into us and forget the comedy. And that's what it looked like to me. I was hoping that if we're going to get a sequel, in this world, Ted exists, and you can wish upon a star or something, a space station or something, and the childhood thing that you love can come to life. So there's got to be millions of these things, whether they're bears or dolls or something, whatever. That's the sequel that I want to see. So I was not really excited to see this sequel, as we're, a few years into the future. Now Ted is married to the woman of his dreams that he met at the supermarket, but because he does not have he doesn't have anything, he cannot produce life. So they want to adopt, they want to have a family, they think it's going to help their marriage, and because of that, he is sent to court to prove that he is a person, a thinking entity, instead of being a product. He was once a toy, so he has to fight for his rights. So yeah, there's that message, and hopefully there's comedy. The film also stars Amanda Seyfried, who plays their lawyer, and then Morgan Freeman plays another lawyer, and then Sam Jones is back as Sam Jones, Flash Gordon, which was really nice to see. And there's cameos throughout. It's a Seth MacFarlane movie, so you're going to get the comedy, you're going to get the message, and then you're also going to get all the references to other movies. So how did I feel about the film? I walked away from this movie just having the time of my life. I was so impressed by this film, literally. I'm being perfectly honest with you right now. Yes, I thought the first movie was good. His last film sucked. And Ted 2, which I was not excited about at all. I walked away and I felt, wow, you made me laugh 90% of the time. Yes, there is 10% of this film where there's a lot of misses. Yes, there's a lot of misses, but 90% of the time this movie hits with its movie references. There's tons of movie references. You expect that from Seth MacFarlane, and I enjoy them. I'm not going to spoil any of them in this review. There were some that made me stand up and cheer. Literally, I stood up and cheered. I was just so happy. I was like, this is where they're going. That's awesome. There were others I thought those were cool, and I don't know, it just worked. For me, it just worked wholeheartedly, especially when it came to what Seth really likes to use with the references. They didn't feel forced. They felt they were attached to the story somehow. They felt like they added something to the movie, whether it was a laugh or actually a great scene in the film. And one of my favorite references is to one of my favorite films of all time, and it's very current. The great thing about that is very current. So seeing that was just like, even if this movie sucks, this is a great scene on its own. But I really like the story. The story turned out to be very interesting. It balanced out the drama and the comedy. Yes, the comedy is very crude, but for me, yes, it's crude and very irreverent. What you want from an R-rated comedy, but you don't want to feel like it's being mean-spirited or gross or too inappropriate. There were some times maybe a little too inappropriate, but for the most part, I'll have to say, this film didn't creep me out, didn't disgust me. I liked seeing Mark Wahlberg. I like his relationship with Seth MacFarlane, Ted, and they had a great chemistry with Amanda. Morgan Freeman adds a little bit, and then there's also other side characters that add a little flavor to this film as well. Sam Jones, of course, is great with his cameo, and there's some other things that I really enjoyed. I just thought this movie had heart, that it was funny. That's what it needed to be. In the end, if the movie still was okay, I really still wanted to laugh. But since I laughed so much, out loud, consistently, over and over and over again, I just really loved this film. It may not be the greatest comedy ever told, or up there with the best works of comedy gold, but on its own, not only is it a great comedy, but I felt it was a great film and one of the best comedy sequels to come out from a film that I thought was good. That's what shocked me the most. Really. I liked Ted, the original Ted. I never really wanted a sequel, but I felt like they really took their time to develop an interesting story. They had their message about civil rights, acceptance, and all this stuff that goes on. Yes, it's about a bear, an imaginary bear. So it has that message. It makes fun of pop culture. It makes fun of our media. It pokes fun at all these things. I mean, there's a whole scene that involves Comic-Con. So there was so much to enjoy about this film. And on top of that, the movie is an hour and 55 minutes. And I never looked forward to the ending. I was actually depressed when it was coming down to the final ending, because I was having such a good time watching this very enjoyable, raunchy adult comedy that I highly recommend. That if you can stand these kind of films, hire a babysitter, leave the kids at home, and go watch this film. It was just so much fun. And what a great surprise to come from Seth MacFarlane, who I'm not the biggest fan of, and also just what sequels need to do. They need to remind us of what we liked about the first one and then build upon that and make it even better. And I think that's what this film did so well. I really enjoyed it. I had the time of my life. I had a blast. I had so much fun. So many things that I just can't wait. Hopefully, for the friends that enjoyed it, we can talk about those great scenes in the movie. And I like some of the side characters. Giovanni Ribisi was the bad guy in the first film. He's the bad guy in this one. Yeah, he's okay. He's kind of creepy at sometimes, and other times it's like, yeah, maybe that's one of the weaker parts of the movie. But overall, I had fun at the theater. And it's a comedy. And I laughed a lot. And that's what I wanted. And that's what I didn't expect. So maybe go into this film not expecting much, and you may enjoy it as well. Also, stay to the very end of the credits, because you're going to get an extra scene. And I really hope, if they make a third movie, which hopefully they will, this movie will be successful, I would like to see Misfit Toys, or the Island of Misfit Toys, or this whole world, this whole universe. Because in this world, Ted exists. That means there's got to be other things, weird things, that exist. And I'd like to see that. If they're going to continue this and make this at least a trilogy, which I hope they do. So comment box below, what did you think of Ted 2? What do you think of Seth MacFarlane? What do you think of Million Ways to Die in the West? And what do you think of the original Ted 2? But for me, Ted 1. But for me, Ted 2, great comedy, really fun, entertaining film that I highly enjoyed. And for that, I'm going to give Ted 2, I'm going to give it 3.5 stars out of 4. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and share this video. And also, please check out these amazing movie websites. And if you enjoyed this review, please click here to subscribe to my channel, and also please check out all my recent reviews right here on YouTube. Have a great day, live film, find peace, happiness, and harmony in anything and everything you do, and I'll talk to you at my next movie review.